Namaste Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvyayivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nami Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvasesha Sanyavadi Paschacharishadharine. Okay, we are reading today in Sri Jagannath Mandir on this auspicious occasion of the Tirobhav Madhvacharya from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, text number 24. Kindly read. Tasmat Om Iti Udarifya Yagnya Dhanam Tapaha Kriyaha Pravatante Vidanuktaha Satatam Brahmavadinam Tasmat Om Ityadaritya Yagnya Dana Tapakriyaha Pravatante Vidanukta Satatam Brahmavadinam Tasmat Om Ityadaritya Yagnya Dana Tapakriyaha Pravatante Vidanuktaha Satatam Brahmavadinam Tasmat Om Ityadaritya Yagnya Dana Tapakriyaha Pravatante Vidanukta Satatam Brahmavadinam Tasmat Om Ityadaritya Yagnya Dana Tapakriyaha Pravatante Vidanukta Satatam Brahmavadinam Tasmat Om Ityadaritya Yagnya Dana Tapakriyaha Pravatante Vidanukta Satatam Brahmavadinam. Any ladies. Tasmat Om Ityadaritya Yagnya Dana Tapakriyaha Pravatante Vidanukta Satatam Brahmavadinam. Tasmat Om Ityadaritya Yagnya Dana Tapakriyaha Vidanukta Satatam Brahma. Tasmat. Therefore, Om, beginning with Om, Iti, thus, Udaritya, indicating Yajna of sacrifice, Dana charity, tapaha, and penance, kriyaha, performances, avartante, begin, vidhana uttaha, according to scriptural regulation, satatam, always, brahmavadinam, of the transcendentalists. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Therefore, transcendentalists undertaking performances of sacrifice, charity and penance in accordance with scriptural regulations begin always with Om to attain the Supreme. Purport: Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Param. The lotus feet of Lord Vishnu are the supreme devotional platform. That was from the Rig Veda, by the way. The performance of everything on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead assures the perfection of all activity. End of purport. Very short purport, but in this short purport we could say contains essential direction, the performance of everything, literally everything. Not just when we come to the temple once a week, twice a week, whatever it is, but everything. Whatever we do, whatever thought we have, whatever words we speak, wherever we go, everything on behalf of the Supreme Personality of God. There's a famous Christian saint named Saint Francis of Assisi. Some of you have heard of him, some of you have not. Catholic saint, prophet even said he was self-realized soul. One statement we can learn from anyone whose life is dedicated to God. But one of his followers said, when we go to preach the message of the gospel, should we walk? And he said, if your walking is not preaching, you shouldn't go anywhere. In other words, everything we do should be in that mentality. Not that we, do this and do that and think of this and think of that. Then when we come to a class or when we're preaching to someone, that's okay. I mean, it's not to be, dismissed. But it's not the platform of Brahman platform which is being discussed here. Everything is done on the spiritual platform. Everything should be in that consciousness of Krishna. Is it, let's say, for Krishna, or is it for myself? I remember when we had in the early 70s, we would go in vehicles, groups of devotees, 3 or 4 in each vehicle, traveling around England, Scotland, Wales, distributing books. And one of the devotees in the party, I won't mention his name, but he was an addict for Simply Wonderfuls. Have you heard of Simply Wonderful? It's not a traditional sweet in South India. They still make Simply Wonderfuls, right, Nishinga? Yeah. In Australia, they make the very first class Simply Wonderfuls. They make sure they have the best butter, the very best of the butter, right? The secret is you've got to have really good butter. Just watered down or mixed stuff doesn't have the same effect. So they make super duper. We used to make Simply Wonderfuls on Sankirtan. Not me, I mean with the party. And we would distribute them in public. When you meet people, you give them a Simply Wonderful. Try to break the ice. Prabhupada said, Prabhupada gave that name simply. Yes, it is simply wonderful. You are simply wonderful. Krishna consciousness is simply wonderful. Krishna is simply wonderful. Everything about devotional service is simply wonderful. The holy name is simply wonderful. So this suite got the name, Simply Wonderful. And it's kind of like a Western concoction, but it does the job. So we just do it Simply Wonderfuls on the street. So there's this one devotee, he loves Simply Wonderfuls, and his mantra was, one for you, one for me. Every time he gave one to the public, he put one in his mouth. He was really spaced out. Literally spaced out. But he couldn't resist it. It's kind of like, one for Krishna, one for me. One for the... Of course, taking prasadam is always good, but we shouldn't take too much. Anyway, in regards to today's verse, doing everything for Krishna. Om Tat Sat. I think that's the subject matter of these verses, isn't it? That everything we should do should start with Om. So before you chant your japa in the morning, you have to sit there. How long for? Om, Om, Om. Very blissful. You like that? That's what you do in the morning, Shanti? I wonder what that noise coming out of your room was. What to do? I mean, Prabhupada does comment on this important statement that everything should be preceded with the Omkar Pranava, we officially hear Om Tat Sat and various other mantras to precede whatever we do, to bring them in line with Krishna. Then most of the time we don't, even when we're chanting Hare Krishna, offering our prayers to our spiritual masters, we may not be very conscious. Generally people's consciousness, their attention span is very limited in this age, isn't it? Hard to concentrate. You're thinking of the past and the future most of the time. Just like when we chant, we bow down to our spiritual masters. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityananda. How conscious are we? How conscious are we? We're doing it, it's good. But how conscious are we in all your activities? Tasmatsaveshu Kalishu Mamanusha. We should be conscious of Krishna in everything we do. That is a growth, it's a development, but it also requires reminding. So this is a reminder of our, say, responsibility or opportunity, our duty, service, etc., to become conscious of what we're doing. And not just conscious, that's sometimes we're not even conscious, but conscious of its relationship with Krishna. In one sense, the word tapa, penance, in English penance, for instance, used in this verse here, is normally held to be like an atonement in Christianity. It's usually a Christian word, isn't it? Penance. We have penance. We have penalty, we have penal codes, punishments and so on. It's a kind of a self-imposed punishment in some ways. At least in Christianity, they take it like that, a penance for our sins. But it can have other meanings. Prabhupada usually used this word differently. Not so much in the terms of an atonement, but more the restricting one's sense gratification, controlling one's mind, focusing our mind on Krishna, our activities for Krishna. That's a real penance, isn't it? The tendency is the default button goes off and we start thinking of our family, our health, our wealth, our whatever it is we're into, politics, some fearful thought, whatever it is. Oh God, I've got to go to work again. Oh no, The kids have woken up. Another day. Oh my goodness. It's so blooming hot. And the Chinese, they're banging crackers till 1 o'clock in the morning. I can't sleep. What's going on? Did you hear the fireworks last night? Pretty far. I was watching it till 1 o'clock in the morning. It woke you up. I wasn't asleep. We didn't get back till 11:30 from the programs yesterday, huh? It sounded like a war. It was non-stop. The guy right in front of the condominium, I thought it was all over then, 12:15, he let off the loudest ones of all, right in front of the condominium. It sounded like a bomb going off. It just got louder and louder and louder. The whole roof was shaking on his shed or whatever he was putting. Bang. Rockets going in every direction. Amazing. Well, it's very, in one sense it's very nice, but it's not really done for Christians. Not really. Social, we could say, interactions and festivals, they're not totally dismissed in Vedic culture by any means, but they are guided, and they're not just whimsical. They're guided. There's a goal behind it all, to bring us closer to Krishna. Whether we chant Om, generally that's the, you could say, it's not even Shankaracharya's philosophy exactly, but most of the impersonalists, Prabhupada says the impersonal sound vibration or representative of God. It's non-different in one sense from the Mahamantra, but it's not really effective in this age. You've got to be in the mode of goodness. How many of you are in the mode of goodness? All those in the mode of goodness, you better leave the room. No, you stay. All those who are not in the mode of goodness. Anyone not in the mode of goodness? One or two? What are the rest of you in? Nothing. They're Mayavadism. You're either in goodness or you're not in goodness. Or you're in transcendence. Anyone in Shuddha Sattva, pure transcendental goodness. Above the three modes of nature. You never have a single material desire. Right? Huh? I don't have a single one, I have unlimited ones. Unlimited material desires, isn't it? They never stop. As Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, they're like rivers, the Puyamana, no? Acharapatishtam. They flow like rivers into the ocean, they never stop. The secret is to become still. Now, the impersonalists, they try to withdraw their senses and just focus on whatever, Om or goodness knows what they focus their attention on. Nothingness or oneness, whatever. Just withdrawing their senses. Is that what a devotee does? As in the Bhagavad Gita, just like a tortoise withdraws its senses into its shell. Is that what we do? You sit there like a rock all day long? Some of you do. Especially during japa. Oh no, sometimes there's a Om, Om sound coming out. What does a devotee do? What is their stillness? What is their withdrawal symptom? Yes, Mother. Oh my goodness, I thought you were shivering. Scared out of her wits there. What is their system? What do we do? How do we do that? The Mayavadis, the impersonalists, whatever, they try to withdraw their senses entirely from the sense objects and focus within, huh? Staring at the tip of the nose. Om, Om. Meditate on the tip of the nose. Don't be so nosy. Om. It's a sound vibration. Transcendental sound vibration. No doubt if you can do it, it's purifying. We used to try it when we were kids, before we came in touch with Hare Krishna. It can be a preliminary. And someone had their hand up. Who was that? You had your hand up. Come on. Spurt out. French. Say it in French if you don't know English. He's from France. And there are French Sankirtan devotees traveling with us. He's come here to learn how to distribute books. By the way, we learned how to distribute books yesterday. We went to see a devotee that some of you know. His name is Neela Madhava. He lives in Saramban now. He was in Todu. Now he's got no legs. Both legs have been taken off. He's like he looked better than he was. He had the highest, but just on the death point of, diabetes, uric acid, kidney failure, heart problems. What else we got? High cholesterol, high blood pressure. Everything was at its maximum. The doctors just couldn't believe it, that he's still alive practically. But he had to go back to Seremban to recuperate, so he lives in Seremban. But he's burned, he's crying and crying. When can I get on book distribution again? When can I get out? He's already planned with his neighbour to take him in a taxi to the railway station so he can get on a train to come to Brickfields and go out all day on distribution of books. And he said, I'm a useless person. I have no ability to preach. I just want people to get Prabhupada's books, so that Prabhupada will preach to them. Very amazing consciousness. You were there, you saw. If he can do book distribution, what about you? What about all of us? Prabhupada gave his life. Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj's 150th anniversary is coming up. I think very shortly, maybe in 10 days or so. Isn't it? I hope you've made big arrangements here. Chiranjeev Prabhu, get on, if you haven't done it already, contact all the centres, and at least they should have an honorific day, or more than one day, to glorify His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Very important. His mission, basically, it came from his instruction to Srila Prabhupada. What instruction did he give? Many, but in regards to book distribution, what instruction? Very simple question, very simple answer. What instruction did Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj give to our Srila Prabhupada in regards to book distribution? Pardon? Thank you. If you ever get money, now if any of you got any money, if any of you got any money, yes? Everyone's getting really worried now about that question. What did he say do with the money if you've got money? Print books. What did he say if you've got money? What did he say if you've got money? Do you remember what he said? What did he say? Print books. What's the purpose of printing books? Pardon? What's the point? To read them. And how many books do you need to read? You don't print one copy, do you? Normally. You print many. So what are they for? They're for reading, for sure. But first you have to, before you can read it, what do you have to do? Pardon? Print it, we've done that. Print books, you've got money. Then the next thing, what do you have to do with them? Before you can read? Distribute them. If nobody had distributed the books, none of us would be reading the books. Somebody distributed them, right? Somebody's just like hearing. Somebody's got to chant in order to hear. Similarly, to read the book, somebody's got to distribute them. Who's it going to be? I saw yesterday, we went, I didn't go myself, well, we did the other day, but the devotees, a couple of devotees with me, they wanted to go out on book distribution. So it's Chinese New Year, so we go to the book room. There are a grand total of 6 Chinese books in your stock room. 6. I couldn't believe it. Here we are in China Loka, and you've got 6 books. What does that mean? What does it mean? You are not distributing books. That's all it means. Isn't it? Brahmandamari take home, Bhagavan Jeev, Guru Krishna Prasadi Pai Bhakti teach. Bharata Bhumike Halya Manusha Janmajara, Janma Satikara Kara Para Upakara. Almost everyone in this room, almost, is of Indian descent. Am I correct? Maybe you were born in Malaysia, but your families are of Indian descent. Is that right? Or Bengal, many Bengalis. And it is your privilege. It is a privilege. Some of you are Chinese descent, some are European, some are Australian, some are Chinese, whatever, different origins. but especially for those of Indian descent, it is your privilege to pass this message on. And in Kali Yuga particularly, people do not have very good memories. What did I just say? What did I just say? Forgotten it already, right? Thank God. I don't want to remember what he just said. I might have to do something. What did I just say? Huh? Many things. Anybody remember anything? If ever you get money, print books. In Kali Yuga, people have short memories. Huh? Not only that, they're lazy. Manda samanda matiyo, manda bagu patuta. They're lazy, quarrelsome, huh? Disturbed. Kali Yuga, short-lived. People are very disturbed. Why? So many causes. It's not just fireworks which cause disturbance. It could be anything. There was a fly buzzing around me last night. I thought on the 11th floor we wouldn't get flies, but there was a fly buzzing all around me. It wouldn't go away. Krishna provides these disturbances for various reasons, and one is that we turn to Him. This is penance. That whatever happens, we try to focus on Krishna. That's what the literature is teaching us. This book, Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj impregnated this into Srila Prabhupada's heart, right? He took that as his life mission, basically. When he went to America, he went on, as many of you know, he went in anyone remember which year it was? When Prabhupada went to America? Sorry? 95, somebody said. 65. 65. That's better. Upside down. You had it upside down. 9, turn around 6. 1965. And with him, who went with him? 200 first canto Srimad Bhagavatams, right? Is that right? Plus, 200 sets, first canto. Went on the boat with him to New York, together with a little leaflet, India's message of peace and goodwill, which he put together. And he arrived there. Somebody said, well, Prabhupada went to America with his Srimad Bhagavatam. Sri Prabhupada didn't say that. He said, the Srimad Bhagavatam took me to America. I went with the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's the Srimad Bhagavatam that went. Prabhupada is a servant of Srimad Bhagavatam, not the master. We are here to become servants of the will of the Lord. This is penance. In this age, the equivalent of Om Tat Sat, Om Iti, this and that, is the Mahamantra. Prabhupada, when he arrived in Boston, he said, I have no knowledge, I have no devotion, I simply have strong faith in the holy name of Krishna. This message he brought, which is brought out in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So we humbly suggest that everyone here take this on board. Nila Madhava said another thing. He said, if only every devotee would just take one book. Now there's probably 200 or more devotees in this room or outside this room today. If each of you take one book today, I don't even know if you've got 200 books here, but if you take one book each and promise to distribute it before next week, can anyone calculate how many books that would be? How many would it be? Say there's 250 devotees here. So what would it be? If everyone takes one book, how many books would that be? 200 and what? Very good. That was excellent. Well done. And if you take 2 books, how many would it be? And if you take 4 books, how many would it be? 1,000. And in a year, if you do 4 books in a week, in a year, how many books will you have distributed? Now we're getting complicated here. Calculators are coming out. In a year, you're going to do, between you in a week, every one of you does 4. That's 52,000 books in a year. Now that's not so difficult, is it, Chiranjeev? 2,000 a week or 1,000? 1,000 between you. Now you're just one congregation in Malaysia. There are dozens of congregations. If everyone just takes it upon themselves to do 4 books a week, That is 1,000 books a week, just amongst you. Right? Now, some of you could do more. Some of you could do a lot more. But let's just keep it at 4. It's not much. It's half a book a day, more or less. More or less. Not much. I'm sure you've got friends, people working in the office, family members, neighbours, people you meet when you go shopping. Now there's a secret of book distribution. What's the secret? This is penance. What's the secret? This is tapasya. This is charity. This is sacrifice. The best charity is to give this message to others. The sacrifice is to dedicate yourself to it. The penance is to focus on. So what is it? What's the secret of distributing books? Pardon? Desire. Thank you. That's the number one thing. Do we want to please Krishna? Do we want to be a part of Prabhupada's mission? If you do, you're welcome. But we should follow it up with action. Very simple. Srila Prabhupada at the age of 70 plus was in New York going door to door on his own in the freezing cold weather, alone. People could hardly understand what he said, trying to distribute books in shops and the people he met. In Delhi he was in the boiling hot heat going from cafe to cafe trying to sell his Back to Godhead magazine. No time, no time. You've heard that before? People say, I've got no time. I know all these things, Indian people. I am knowing all of this. I do not need this. I know all this. And in the West, in France, what do they say? Non merci, monsieur. Non merci. No thank you, that means no mercy. They don't want the mercy. They say no thank you, no mercy. Again and again, isn't it? If they're polite, they say that. That's the polite people, that's the nice ones. No mercy. The not so nice ones may say something else, or ignore you entirely mostly, of course. Or non-argent. Non-argent, what's that? Non-argent. No money, no money, no money. No one's got money. As they walk along, with their latest gadgets from, Apple Store and, latest designer clothes, etc. No money. They got no desire, no good fortune. Their job is to bring good fortune to others, to bring the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement to everyone. So what is another secret of distributing books? Primary one is desire. What's another one? Here's a book distributor. Anyone who's not a regular book, you're very experienced devotees. Some of the local devotees. What's another secret of book distribution? There are many. They're not all secrets, but they're necessities, we could say. They're open secrets. What's another necessity? I want to distribute books, Prabhu. Have a look in the cupboard. So what's another one? Well, that's the next step. But if you don't have books in the first place, how can you take books with you? You look in the cupboard, there's nothing there. We're going door to door with the Chinese people, and there's only 6 books in the storeroom. What are we supposed to do? Give them Tamil books? They don't speak Tamil, isn't it? You've got to have the appropriate books if you want to preach, or if you want to give the message of Krishna consciousness to everyone. You have to have books in their language, isn't it? Generally speaking. You have some English books, but not everyone reads English. And the next thing is, Nrsimha Prabhupada said, even if the books are in the storeroom, what's the use if you just leave them there? They can sit there for decades, and they did sometimes, and they do sometimes. I remember the first time our Filipino devotees have gone back now. In Philippines, when I first started to go there was a room full of books from 1983. Like 24 years old. They've been stuck there. Most of them were rotten, waterlogged. Just sitting there. No one distributing them. In France, the same thing. No one distributed the books. They sent them all to Africa. They're still sitting there in warehouses in Africa going rotten. Thousands and thousands of Bhagavad Gitas and Bhagavatams. No, they don't just let them sit in the cupboard. Take them. The same if you buy a set of Bhagavatams. We go to your houses sometimes, and you haven't even opened the box. They're stuck in the box. If the box is open, only one of them has the plastic taken off of it. All the rest are covered in plastic. As regular as anything. Read the books. Every moment you've got, read Srila Prabhupada's books. Spare moment. Chant, read, whatever. But read the books. They're there for us to read. But they're also there for distribution. Someone's got to do it. Prabhupada set the pace. His Guru Maharaj told him, print books and preach this message all over the world in English. So that means take these books and distribute them all over the world. Do it. Organize it. Organization is essential. It doesn't happen by chance. You'll do it once and forget it. Somebody's got to be behind it to make it happen. And you will feel, what will you feel if you do it? What does that mean? What does this mean? Indian. What will you feel? That depends, I suppose, in some way. But if you're actually in the mood, if you understand the mission and message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada's movement, what will you feel? Seeing people take Prabhupada's books and hearing that all the other devotees, wow, this week Prabhu, we distributed 1,000 books between us. That's pretty good. 1,000, not exactly, but on average 1,000 more than usual. You do books at schools, at taipus, some on special events and here and there. But there's a systematic way of distributing books. You feel what? Okay, those you don't know unless you do it. What do you feel? Very blissful. I mean, when we say blissful, you feel very satisfied at heart. And you feel very close to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj, to Srila Prabhupada, to Lord Krishna, to all of our acharyas, etc., etc. They bestow their mercy upon you. Because you're trying to pass on, giving people their association. You're giving people the chance to associate with Srila Prabhupada and all of our parampara, including Madhvacharya, and go all the way back to Radha and Krishna. What better gift can you give? The other day we had a birthday party. She was on the same day. Big birthday party, wonderful birthday party of one devotee. Some of you were there in Malacca. But we completely ignored the fact that it was the appearance day or disappearance day of about 6 of our acharyas. Pundarik Vijayanidhi, Raghulandana Thakur, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Raghunath Das Goswami, Vishnu Priya, Rasant Panchami. Completely missed it. In the, of course that was a spiritual festival, but we have our own birthdays, isn't it? When your kids have a birthday, it's all Hare Krishna to you. And so many different concoctions are coming up now. But a big song, a hullabaloo, and there's cakes and gifts and God knows what. But on Rupa Goswami's appearance day, what do we do? Nothing. Nothing. Practically nothing. Maybe if you're here, 3 or 4 devotees are here to hear a reading about Rupa Goswami, full stop. That's it, isn't it? In most cases it's like that. We're ignoring this golden opportunity to put the pure devotees in our lives. Bhakti Vinod Thakur writes in one book he wrote called Bhakti Aloka. He writes there that when we hear about Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Haridas Thakur, all the pure devotees, the eternal associates of the Lord, one feels great. What do you feel? Pardon? You can say bliss. He uses the words great satisfaction. You feel satisfied, tushta. You feel very satisfied at heart. And what else? Pardon? Inspiration. What else? Determination. What else? Confidence. Because you're associating with a pure devotee. To the degree that we're attentive, that we're conscious. And back to our original point, and before we have 2 hours more kirtan, what about breakfast? What about pajamas? No, we will leave it for next time. I mean the kirtan. So when we chant our pranams, when Prabhupada was in Penang, now you can read this in the book Prabhupada was in Malaysia, if you have that book. If you don't have it, anyone doesn't have that book, Prabhupada in Malaysia, put your hand up. Anyone who doesn't have it. Anyone who has it, let's put it the way. Who has got the book, Prabhupada in Malaysia? So about 20, 30 hands have gone up. The rest of you are not putting your hands up either way. So have you got some problem with your arms or what? You either got it or you haven't got it. There's no other answer to that, is there? So I assume those who didn't put their hands up don't have it, and that was the vast majority of your audience. Now, why not you get that book? It's Srila Prabhupada in Malaysia. So I'm sure if you go to the shop, you can purchase a copy there. Right? Shop is open? So you can go there and purchase a copy of Prabhupada. All over the world, people are asking me for this book. I say, I don't know what to do, I haven't got any. So you can read it online. But Prabhupada in Malaysia, it's in the Veda folio, the Veda base also. Prabhupada was in Penang, Amoga Prabhu tells the story. And in the back seat, Amoga's going, Namo Om Vishnu Padaya. Prabhupada's in the front seat. Usually Prabhupada would go in the back seat, but he was in the front seat. And he's offering his obeisances like this. And Prabhupada said, if you offer your obeisances perfectly, you will go back to Godhead. But what does that mean? What does it mean? It's a deep, deep statement. Well, let's just take it on the surface. If we're not conscious when we chant, are we chanting properly? Is that proper obeisances? Maybe if you do it at all. Is that proper? Probably not. Krishna knows. At least we could try to be conscious of what we're saying and try to say it properly, just like when we chant the Maha Mantra. Try to be attentive when we hear the sound. And this applies to every service, whether we're doing deity worship, book distribution, whatever it is, to be conscious of what we're doing. It's related to Krishna. It's not just an activity to fill our time up. It's not even just because we feel good. It's an activity which is bringing pleasure to Krishna. And when you're attentive, when you have a conversation with somebody, hey Kanath, come here. Come here. Now, say something to me in French.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Keep
Bonjour,
speaking.
monsieur.
Keep speaking.
Ouais.
Keep speaking.
Comment allez-vous? Est-ce que vous avez lu ce livre, parce que vraiment il est magnifique et ce serait important pour vous de ce serait important pour vous de le lire. Monsieur, vous m'entendez? Je suis en train de vous parler. I'm speaking to you.
Is the conversation going to go very far? Is there a loving reciprocation there? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Damn it, where's my mobile? I forgot, I got a message to send. Urgently, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Damn it. Where's my mobile? I've lost it! Oh God! Get on there. I've got to go to the police station right away and cancel. I mean, I can't. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, here, thank God I found it. Whew. Oh, here's a message from my girlfriend. Don't tell my wife.
Monsieur, je suis en train de vous parler.
Better put that in the hidden box
Ça va,
straight away. Clear off! Go away with you! I'm busy! Go away! I got important things to do!
But you are calling me!
I'm not calling you! I'm looking at my mobile! Go away! Go away! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram! Oh no! Rama Rama! Oh! Hare Hare Ram 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 Ram! You're driving me mad! And mine's like that basically. Krishna's there, but we're not. Right? What type of relationship are you going to make? Are we conscious or not? Whether you chant Om or whether you chant Hare Krishna, it's not recommended in Kali Yuga to try chanting Om. We're not impersonalists, Mayavad. We're trying to develop a relationship with Krishna in everything we do. So even when you chant, it's interesting, I was reading the other day, Namaha. You know what it means if you break it down? Every mantra is Nama Om. We also chant Om, Nama Om, Om Namo Bhagavate. Prabhupada said Om in our case is extended to the mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnana Timandasya Namo Om. Om is contained within Hare. Everything is there. It's the internal potency of the Lord in a personal form, Hare. The impersonal form, Om. It all emanates from Krishna. It's transcendental, but Hare brings us to the personal form. So, what does Namaha mean? Obeisances. Simple answer. But it means more than that. Breaking down into two. Na and Ma. Na and Ma. Ma refers to the false ego. Na means negating the false ego. Removing our false ego. So bear that in mind. These mantras are not just things we do because we're supposed to, but they actually are deeply meaningful. We offer our obeisances attentively, at least with attention, then there's a good chance the reciprocation will be there. Root problem, our false ego, can be dissolved by attentively hearing the sound vibration, whether it's Om or Hare Krishna, Namo Om Vishnu Padaya. So let's just chant one mantra together now. We're finished there. Try to listen carefully. Get your minds together. Take a good breath. That's a good idea. We'll start off by kind of clearing ourselves a bit. We'll do a bit of yoga now. Om. Om. Not bad. Here's my tissue paper. Anyway, try to listen. Try to hear this mantra. Everybody is familiar with it, but try to hear. And you'll be amazed. As we hear the sound of the holy name over and over again, how our hearts become soothed, cleansed, purified, enlightened, and devotional. Freed of material desire. This is our retracting our senses from the objects. Is we engage, Rishikena Rishikesh, Bhakti Seva Uchite. We engage our senses in the service of the Lord of the senses, Rishikesh. We don't mean just withdraw them, but our peace is to engage all of our senses. So let's try to engage our tongue, our ears, our mind, etc. in relationship with Krishna's form in this Kali Kalar Namarup, Krishna avatar. In this Kali Yuga, he has appeared in the form of Nama Rupa. So let us try to hear him. He's appeared in this form, not in the form of Om or any other form, but as Nama Rupa, his name. Are you ready? Are you ready? Yes. Are you ready? Yes. What are you going to do? Well, you're going to chant and hear. Try to listen. Try to put everything else aside. I know you're waiting for prasadam like anything. Is ready. And you're eager. Your stomach is screaming itself, screaming at us. But just say, just give us 10, 20 seconds, just when we finish. Almost. So, let's try to hear. What we're going to do, we're going to chant a mantra all together. You don't have to scream it, but just try to hear your own chanting and try to hear the sound of the name of Krishna, his internal energy, Hare. Just try to hear it. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Just take it like that. You don't have to chant so slowly, but just try to hear each mantra. This is the medicine to this age. Nirvita Krishna. Nirvita Tarshu Bhagimanat Prabhushki Chotrinobi. This is what cleanses our heart of the whirlpool of material existence, which is our mind. Pacifies the mind, cleanses the heart, satampa sangam namavirya sankrido vidvanti karma rasayana kata. Brings pleasure to the heart and the ear when we hear those sound vibrations of the holy name. Hear it, the relationship will grow when we show attention to someone. Come here again, Eknath Prabhu. Start speaking to me.
In French?
Anything.
Monsieur, bonjour. J'aimerais vous parler de quelque chose de très important. En fait, ça concerne...
Oui, oui.
Ah.
Oh, c'est bien, c'est très bien. Oui, oui. Well, how do you feel? Is the relationship beginning or not?
Yes.
Okay, so because you're paying some attention to the other person. Krishna is a person. He's not just the impersonal Brahman. How do you reciprocate with the impersonal Brahman? How do you dress the impersonal Brahman? Well, it's not possible. Even for the head of our deity ministry, even he can't do it. So what to speak of us? You offer arti to the impersonal Brahman? You could, well, if you know what it is, I suppose you could. Theoretically, but there's no reciprocation much, is there? Not really. Put a garland, make garlands for Brahman, okay? Not very easy, is it? So become personal, become conscious, and you never know. Krishna might reciprocate as they surrender. Penance means surrender. As they surrender unto me, it's not a question of just selfish penance. All the other penance is selfish, to atone for my nonsense. What is that? Completely self-centered, right? I want to get forgiven for my sins. What is that? It's all about me. I want for my... No, penance means for Krishna, for the pleasure of Krishna. We try to put Krishna in the center, right? Haribol. And one way, when we're chanting japa, as that's related to today's verse, of course, the sound vibration, is to try to be attentive to Krishna when he's there. He's there, but he won't reciprocate if we're not there. That's all. He'll reciprocate, but in a different way. According to our surrender, he'll reciprocate. If we're lucky, he might give us a bit of a wake-up call. But if we take advantage of it, then the relationship becomes very satisfying, very blissful, and you have no other desire for any other relationship. Automatically, because everyone's a part and parcel of Krishna, one automatically has a relationship with everyone in different ways. It's not that we're callous, we're not to everyone else, is a part and parcel of the Lord. So we have to show respect, we have to know how to relate to others too, but ultimately the essential feature is to know how everything can be done and seen in relationship with Krishna. And in that regard, deity worship is essential. All of us come to the temple, putting the deities in the center of our lives. Everyone, there's another thing which not so many of us do. Maybe you come and give a little donation in the box, which is very good. And you're supposed to bring a flower or some fruits or some nice foodstuffs to offer to the deities. You know, when we go home, sometimes you find all kinds of exquisite, exotic foods in your larder, and sometimes in the temple, they're struggling to even get proper ghee and butter. And at home you go there, you've got all these latest health foods from Australia and this, that, the other. Completely worried about our health. That, you know, the deities have a skimpy offering sometimes. You know, we should put Krishna in the center of our lives. Do it for Krishna. You do it for Krishna, Krishna returns unlimitedly. Believe me, unlimited. You get unlimited returns. Just like Ekanath Prabhu, wonderful story. I'll finish on this story. We were on the Sankirtan, we were together that day, remember? Both days actually. Doing books in Paris. And there was this bum. You know what a bum is? I don't mean your body bum. It's a name of a certain type of person. You tell us what a bum is in English. A bum. A bum is a bum. What's a bum? Huh? Not exactly a hippie, no. They live on the street, they're urchins, they have no home, they don't bathe usually, they just beg and hang around drinking liquor and smoking and whatever. They're just really out of it, pardon? Usually a very bad attitude, very bad usually. Really in the mode of ignorance. And you may have some people like this in Malaysia, not so many. But in the Western world, in the civilized world, there are loads of them. In Paris, there are thousands and thousands of them everywhere. Everywhere, even the most, let's say, what's it? Boulevard Rivoli. Huh? They're just lying on the floor. This is the lead-up road to the Louvre, the most, popular destination for tourists. You have to pass all these bums just lying on the floor, just bouncing on you. And you arrive at the main station, Gare du Nord, and it's like you've got to wade your way through these bums to get out of the station practically. They don't know what they're doing, nothing. The place is going to hell. It's like terrible. And they got the Olympics coming up this year as well. It's incredible. But anyway, you get the idea what they are. They're kind of really out of it, people. So there's this one bum who's nearby the Sankirtan party. Oh, I'm chanting, you're distributing books the first time. Next time we're both distributing books. But this bum was lying there, and Eknath goes up to him and gives him a book. And the guy gets out money and gives the money to Eknath, right? And he took a Bhagavad Gita. He gave him, he said, you're lucky, I'm giving you all my money. About €2. And within 5 minutes, it was incredible. We watched it. At least 4 people came and gave him big bags of food. He wasn't getting anything up to that moment. He gave all of the money he got that day, this was in the afternoon, to Eknath for a book. And within 5 or 10 minutes, he had so much food he didn't know what to do with it. And the next time I saw him, you may have seen him many times, was in maybe the last day of the marathon. And we were in a different place, and he was in a different place, lying there, listening to the Harinam. And he had all kinds of books in front of him. He had practically every book we had. He said, and he just wants all the books. And other people were saying, your cookies, they just opened. We were usually distributing in front of this shop called Krispy Kreme. You have that here in Malaysia? Krispy Kreme? Is that how you pronounce it? Krispy Kreme? Huh? It's a donut shop. You know that shop? They have Krispy Kreme in English, Krispy Kreme. So Krispy Kreme, you have it in Malaysia?
Yes.
Where?
Even in the airport also.
In the airport they definitely got. But in Malaysia, you may have it in some of the malls, shopping malls. You don't go to the shopping malls. You're not a donut man. So donut, they sell donuts. Donuts. Right? Who said that? Was it the same guy? Was it the bum who said that? Also about your cookies. We distribute lots of cookies during the marathon. Your cookies are better than the donuts. Distributing prashadam. A wonderful thing to do. Cookies are very, very good thing to distribute. People can relate to it, whether they're Muslims, whether they're Hindus, whether they're Christians, whether they're Buddhists or atheists. More or less everyone can relate to a cookie. More or less. Cookies. Swamp this country with cookies. Flood it with cookies. The Hare Krishna cookies. Krishna cookies. Whatever. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. Srila Prabhupada's 150th anniversary of his appearance in this world. Ki jai. Hari Bol. Jai! Oh, no, not so.